Hello, friends. It's me, your favorite space uncle. Hopefully your only space uncle. Should be your only space uncle. Unless that other guy came back. I don't think he can, though. Not after last. Anyway, let's move on. This is a story from the Neckbeard Stories subreddit. I don't know why I said it like that, but the subreddit. Yes, everything must be enunciated very clearly. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. This is from Reddit user Need to Say. Well, go right ahead. This is the 45-year-old neckbeard that called himself a, quote, online dom, unquote. I have 1,000 questions, and most of them are why. Let us just begin. I was like 18 and currently had an active account where I posted nudes, and well, a lot of weird guys find their way to your DMs that way. Oh, I imagine. But this was something else, and I cringe looking back at this. The guy messaged me and we chatted back and forth a little. At the time, I was just really bored and also liked the validation I got from these men since I was very insecure. Aw. We just chatted about normal stuff, some banter. He was actually quite funny sometimes, but he wasn't really the smartest guy, as I'd later find out. He was also quite the asshole. Oh, isn't that always the way? Most of the time, he seemed extremely confident, though, so I'll be honest. When I started flirting back a little, I sort of imagined him as a typical, quote, sexy older man, unquote. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing. It's probably a thing. It's not me. That's why I don't know if it's a thing. Moving on. You know, kind of like a less hot George Clooney or something. No, I don't think I could imagine George Clooney less hot. Oh boy, I was wrong. But more on that later. I'm already excited. I was really wanting some consistent validation from a man that seemed nice, and I did genuinely have an interest in BDSM. Still do. So I agreed to be his, quote, online sub, unquote. Something that I'd never do again now, and that low-key makes me cringe when I look back at it. Was there a lot of role-playing? Was it a little asterisk colon 3 RP? Was it a little of that? Yeah? Starting to think it might have been that, yeah? Huh? Because to him, that basically meant I had a dumb set of rules to follow. Oh, he figured himself a Christian Grey, did he? Here we go. Like that I'd have to send him a picture of my underwear and my main outfit every day. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. And filmed a quote-unquote sexy video to his liking on command. If you're looking for the benefit this would even have for me, same. But back then, I guess it was the consistent validation. Yeah, this guy was definitely just being a fucking creep. Yeah, no, it's cool. I rarely ever received any pictures or videos of him, which was probably for the best, since his appearance was literally a reason for me to go on a 2-week break from that dynamic, because, like I said, he made himself sound a lot hotter than he was. I just imagine him looking like fucking, what's his name, Dragon Lord Frodo, sitting in his living room, being like, these fucking broads, you know. When I saw the first bits of him, I saw that he was an obese guy with really long goatee and had bits of food stuck in it. Ew. And there were brown bits on his teeth, oh god, that I don't want to know more about to this day. Yeah. And it was a video where he was talking about making out with me. The irony. Because nothing could make me not want to make out with this man more than this video. Sorry, I threw up a little thinking about that. Continue. Well, I somehow made my way back, and the weirdness continued. Every now and then we'd call on Discord, and I'd basically be his own personal cam girl while he made up dirty stories, quote-unquote, or whatever, or told me what to do, and I kid you not, it would regularly take me an hour or two to have an orgasm. Yeah, I imagine. At the time, I did enjoy those calls, though, since I weirdly just wanted to prove to myself that I could make a man... I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, complete. Because that was apparently where my self-esteem was at the time. He never turned his camera on, though, which was probably for the best. I mean, yeah, honestly, with the way you described it, part of it is like, you know, to know who actually is there, but on the other hand, with the way that you describe what you did see about this guy, you don't actually want to see. No. Things continued this way, all while I had begun to struggle a lot with my mental health. Have I mentioned he wasn't the smartest? Because his solution for my self-harming was simply to make it a rule that if I did it 3 times, he could no longer be my quote-unquote dom. This more so added to the psychological pressure, since I still depended heavily on that validation, and oddly, didn't want to quote-unquote lose him. Well, time went by, and he got busy. Meanwhile, I got busy getting to know a really great guy. This thing with that dom beard was obviously nothing serious. We both agreed on that, so it was no problem for me to start to get to know this man without anything really changing. But naturally, I wanted to be with this guy and didn't care for the validation from Dombeard anymore. So I ended that dynamic, and he said we could remain friends. Whatever, fine by me. A while after I'd started dating the other guy, he'd chat me up every now and then at some point he had a new quote-unquote sub. The way he talked about that made me realize what an asshole he really was. He told me that his new sub was, quote, so old. The woman was 35. That was still 10 years younger than his fat ass. Really? Fascinating. He also started comparing us, absolutely unsolicitedly. Telling me how much better I was, and that she makes so many mistakes and gets so many punishments, which just made me feel angry and disappointed for her. Yeah, you and me both. What an asshole. As the cherry on top, I found out that he wasn't honest about his relationship with his wife. I'm sorry, his wife? What? He told me in the beginning, since I made it clear I don't want to enable cheaters, that he was, quote, only legally married, and actually separated. Should have known it was bullshit. It always is when they say things of that sort. But somehow I believed it. Oh. Classy. Well, of course, that wasn't true. They were still in a committed relationship and living together all along. So even more angry and disappointed for her, really. Yeah, especially considering he's still fucking doing this, and all the while shit-talking somebody else. What a douche. So yeah, that was the tale of the guy whose midlife crisis manifested in being an online dom. Just an edit. Another creepy little thing that he seemed to have was a huge fetish for virgins. Oh, so he's got the incel mindset. Fascinating. I guess unsurprising for a 45-year-old who thought a 35-year-old woman, who was his, quote, little DDLG style, apparently. I mean, to each their own, of course, no shame to people who like DDLG, but I find it creepy when a grown man gets off to a grown woman acting like a child. Yeah, that makes 2 of us, actually. Was, quote, so old. But yeah, he basically was obsessed with the fact that I was a virgin and generally super inexperienced, which in and of itself is super creepy. Yeah, that's a hell of a story, my dude. But, yeah, no, the whole virgin thing is not surprising. There's dudes like that who, they want to be the one to control everything, because, you know, that means that you have to depend on, they're really codependent. They have this whole thing of, like, you have to depend on them, you have to do everything, you know, that they say, and they can teach you everything. No one else will ever be able to teach you like they do. No one else will ever care about you like they do. It's fucking gross. It's just really fucking gross, yeah. Honestly, I don't understand that. Maybe it's because I'm not entirely straight. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing. But, like, I have never, ever understood that idea of, oh, but she has to be a virgin. It's like, why does that fucking matter? Who gives a shit? What shouldn't it be more about, like, the person you're with actually likes you? Shouldn't that be, like, the priority? Why do you care if they've done other things before you literally even knew they existed? Why is that a thing? Why do you fucking care? That's weird. Stop that. But yeah, no, this dude was a creep. He's just straight up creep, and he was like preying on the fact that you were dealing with some things, and just I'm willing to bet he probably knew in some form. You know, he may not be the swiftest, but there is definitely guys like that. It's a thing. Yeah, fuck this creep. Either way, thank you for your very interesting story, and thank you, you, listening to this. Put down the cup. I can see you. All right? Pay attention. I'm thanking you. Rude. Anyway, thank you for being here and enjoying this and listening to this and, you know, whatever else. I can't actually see you. You know that, right? Like, I'm fucking with you. Either way, if you would like to support this channel, I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store because much like PBS, this show is brought to you by viewers like you. Oh, yeah. And every weekend, there are streams, including the one I'm doing right now. If you would like to see these things being recorded live, you can do that. It happens on Monday nights on my Twitch channel. The links to all the things, including my subreddit and probably a couple other things that I can't think of right now, are in the description below this and every one of my videos. So you can check that out. It'd be weird if they were in other people's videos. It'd be very strange if that happened. If you just, like, you know, you're watching, like, Game Grumps, and you scroll down, and it's a link to my merch store and not theirs, that'd be kind of odd. But it would mean that I have immeasurable power. So it might happen one day. It's probably not going to happen. But either way, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next story. Goodbye. Goodbye.